Feeling your legs becoming weaker, heavier, or sore could signal a warning. Notice whether standing for long periods, walking, or climbing stairs has started to feel challenging. If that's the case, proceed with caution. What I'm about to reveal in this video is something you'd likely never expect, and may finally explain why this is happening. Consuming certain risky foods, 2 vitamins often believed essential for health, and a mix of elements draining the strength from your legs all play a part in this issue. Yes, nutrients people insist are beneficial might actually be weakening your muscles, stressing your joints, and leaving your legs unsteady, uncomfortable, and vulnerable. The most unsettling part is that these threats exist in your everyday routine. Every sip and every bite could be feeding the weakness you feel. But it doesn't stop there. The 2 vitamins you may be taking right now will genuinely surprise you. Even with the best intentions, thinking you're protecting your body and strengthening your bones, you could be speeding up muscle deterioration and undermining your legs. This video will expose the truth hidden behind these supplements and foods. You'll understand what's truly causing the fatigue, swelling, stiffness, and recurring pain. More importantly, you'll learn what to avoid and what to adjust moving forward so you can restore your strength, vitality, and independence. Want to preserve strong legs for years and age with confidence? Then stay with me until the end. Before you begin, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment where you're watching. Remember to subscribe to receive more natural health tips and share your thoughts in the comments. It's always a pleasure to see the reach of our community. 15. Sweets and sugary desserts. Desserts and sugary treats have long been associated with pleasure and comfort. After 60, however, this habit can quietly become an enemy to your leg health. Excess refined sugar triggers inflammatory reactions throughout the body, especially in muscles and joints. Persistent inflammation makes the legs more sensitive, painful, and prone to decline. Plus, sugar is tightly linked to increased insulin resistance, which drains muscle energy. When muscles lack proper fuel, they weaken and function less effectively. Extra sugar also contributes to weight gain, adding even more stress to your legs. Each additional pound forces your lower body muscles and joints to work harder. More weight means extra strain, more discomfort, and a greater sense of instability in the legs. For older adults already losing muscle mass naturally, this becomes even more concerning. Sugar also heightens the production of bodily toxins, worsening inflammatory responses. The more inflammation builds, the harder it becomes to keep your legs strong and reliable. Did you know sugar directly affects circulation? When consumed excessively, it increases the risk of vascular problems that limit blood flow to the lower limbs. Poor circulation means your leg muscles receive less oxygen and fewer nutrients, slowing tissue repair and delaying muscle recovery. Enjoying a dessert might come at a higher price than you think. Besides metabolic effects, sweets lack essential nutrients like protein and magnesium, both crucial for muscle health. In other words, you're consuming empty calories that weaken your body instead of fortifying it. In older age, this type of unbalanced eating accelerates muscle loss, one of the biggest enemies of mobility. If your legs feel increasingly weak, the root cause may be as simple as a slice of cake or a piece of pie. What appears to be a harmless treat might actually be undermining your strength and independence. Most factory-produced desserts also contain chemical additives, preservatives, dyes, and stabilizers that worsen inflammation. These compounds disrupt the body's internal balance and directly affect the muscular system. Combined with sugar, they create a harmful health equation. Swapping these options for more natural choices, like cinnamon-topped fruit or homemade desserts with less sugar, is already a major improvement. You can still enjoy something sweet, just with smarter decisions that respect your health. Your legs and your taste buds will thank you. 14. Fried foods. Fried snacks may be tempting, but the impact they have on the body after 60 should not be underestimated. Loaded with trans fats and saturated oils, these foods raise inflammatory markers inside the body. This inflammation directly affects the muscles and joints, making the legs stiffer, more painful, and more prone to injury. The fats in fried foods also impair circulation, making it harder for muscles to receive the oxygen they need. Poor blood flow limits the body's ability to repair tissues and build strength. Another issue is that fried foods contribute to the clogging of blood vessels, further blocking the delivery of vital nutrients to leg muscles. Over time, this process weakens the body's structural support and speeds up joint deterioration. Among the primary offenders are items like donuts, chicken nuggets, and French fries. Before we continue, I'd love to know where you're watching from today. Drop a comment below and feel free to ask any questions. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss the top health tips from our channel. And if you're here right now, let me know you're with me. Type 1 if this video is resonating with you. If not, type 0. When eaten frequently, these foods overwhelm both the circulatory and skeletal systems. Their taste isn't worth the physical cost. Have you ever felt your legs heavier or more achy after a meal rich in fried items? That's your body reacting to the overflow of unhealthy fats. These foods also require long digestion, consuming significant energy. That means less energy remains available for your muscles, often resulting in leg fatigue. Additionally, eating fried foods regularly is strongly tied to weight gain, which places even more pressure on the lower body. And once this cycle begins, breaking it becomes difficult. Fried foods also offer very few nutrients, minimal vitamins, minerals, and proteins that actually support muscle strength. A diet dominated by these choices produces an imbalance that accelerates muscle decline. Less muscle results in legs that are unstable and less firm. This reduces your ability to carry weight, climb steps, or walk with confidence. Avoiding fried foods is one of the simplest steps you can take to preserve mobility and stay independent. Switching fried meals for healthier cooking styles can go a long way toward protecting your legs. 13. White bread. Made from refined flour, white bread undergoes a process that strips away most fibers and essential nutrients. This turns it into a rapidly absorbed carbohydrate that spikes blood sugar. These surges directly influence muscle performance, especially in the legs, producing fatigue and instability. Frequent consumption triggers metabolic imbalance. White bread's low fiber and high glycemic load further promote insulin resistance. This reduces how efficiently glucose enters muscle cells, limiting the energy and strength necessary for everyday movement. The less fuel the leg muscles receive, the harder it becomes to maintain firmness and function. Over time, this may lead to muscle loss, an already common issue with aging. At that point, white bread shifts from being a harmless option to a contributor of irritation and decline. Its impact goes beyond glucose. Because it is low in protein and minerals, it offers almost no support for muscle recovery. Older adults require higher protein intake to slow sarcopenia, the gradual loss of muscle tissue. Relying on white bread daily while neglecting richer protein sources slowly drains the body meal after meal. This can result in legs that tire easily, feel unsteady, and lack resilience. Besides failing to nourish, white bread often encourages weight gain, especially when paired with butter, cheese, or sweets. Excess weight further strains aging legs, increasing discomfort, inflammation, and injury risk. White bread diminishes mobility rather than improving it. A single slice may seem harmless, but the accumulation of poor choices does the real damage. Thankfully, many healthier replacements exist. Whole grain breads, naturally fermented or made with grains like oats, flaxseed, or rye, offer valuable fiber and nutrients. They indirectly strengthen muscles, support digestion, and help stabilize glucose levels. Paired with protein and healthy fats such as eggs or avocado, they create balanced meals. You don't have to abandon bread, just choose smarter options. Later in this video, you'll also discover the 2 worst vitamins that secretly weaken your legs. 12. Alcoholic drinks. As we age, especially when thinking about leg muscles and joint function, drinking alcohol becomes even riskier. After 60, the body processes alcohol less efficiently, amplifying its harmful effects. One major consequence is difficulty absorbing key minerals such as calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D. When these fall short, muscles weaken and bones lose density, raising the chances of fractures and falls. Alcohol also slows muscle repair. This means that after any physical effort, the body requires more time to rebuild tissues, resulting in longer-lasting soreness, fatigue, and a higher likelihood of strains. It also dehydrates the body, reducing muscle flexibility and contributing to painful leg cramps. Additionally, alcohol interferes with liver function, which plays a crucial role in producing compounds needed for tissue health. The association between drinking and weight gain is another serious factor. Alcohol is calorie-dense and promotes abdominal fat accumulation even in moderate amounts. That extra weight puts more pressure on the legs, demanding more from the joints and reducing mobility. Combined with the natural age-related decline of muscle mass, the consequences for movement and independence can be severe. Ever notice waking up more tired or achy after drinking? That reflects the stress alcohol places on muscles and joints. Habitual consumption raises inflammation levels in the body, worsening discomfort and lowering motivation to stay active. With time, this habit severely undermines the body's ability to remain strong and functional, and shortly, I'll reveal which 2 vitamins can also contribute to weakened legs. 11. Processed meats. Processed meats are common for convenience, yet they hide serious risks for leg health, particularly in older adults. High in sodium and chemical additives, products like bacon, ham, and sausages promote chronic inflammation throughout the body. This inflammatory effect reaches the joints, causing persistent discomfort in the leg muscles, knees, and ankles. These foods may even contribute to the morning stiffness many people notice upon waking. Another issue is their elevated saturated fat content. This type of fat reduces blood flow to the muscles, raises harmful cholesterol, and impairs circulation. Poor circulation deprives the leg muscles of oxygen and nutrients, weakening their ability to repair and function. The long-term result is a steady decline in lower body strength, eventually limiting basic daily activities. Processed meats also contribute to toxin buildup, overloading the liver and kidneys. These organs are essential for clearing waste products that, when accumulated, worsen muscle fatigue. Preservatives in these foods can also disrupt glucose metabolism, lowering the energy available to muscle cells. Again, the impact is felt directly in the legs as persistent tiredness and heaviness. Although these foods are often chosen for convenience, nutritional awareness should be highest in later life. In this stage, convenience may come at the expense of mobility and comfort. Choosing better protein sources, such as eggs, chicken, fish, or lean beef, is a key step toward maintaining muscle health. Simple swaps make a significant difference. Replace bacon with avocado or olive oil, choose cooked eggs instead of sausage, or use shredded chicken breast instead of ham. The body quickly responds to these upgrades, and the legs feel lighter and more capable. Between taste and independence, between enjoyment and longevity, the choice is worth making. 10. Instant noodles. Although they may seem like the perfect option for people looking for convenience, instant noodles have effects on the body, especially after age 60, that are quite alarming. Mostly made from refined flour and chemical additives, they offer very little true nutrition, turning them into an empty and unbalanced meal. They are a calorie-dense food low in fiber, protein, and essential micronutrients required to protect muscle mass. Over the years, this type of eating directly weakens the legs and undermines mobility. One of the biggest issues with instant noodles is their extremely high sodium content. A single cup can deliver more than half of the daily recommended allowance. Excess sodium triggers fluid retention, causing swollen, tight, and uncomfortable legs. It also elevates blood pressure, which restricts proper blood flow to the muscles. Poor circulation leads to undernourished muscle tissue that becomes weaker and slower to recover after activity. The chemical agents included in the seasoning packets create another layer of concern. Preservatives, dyes, and monosodium glutamate are all frequently linked to chronic inflammatory responses. Even when mild, these inflammatory reactions disrupt joint movement and accelerate muscle breakdown. Over time, this results in discomfort, stiffness, and recurring mobility limitations for those who regularly consume these foods. There is also a significant impact on metabolic function. The shortage of fiber raises the glycemic index of instant noodles, causing blood sugar spikes. These fluctuations interfere with insulin activity, making it harder for muscles to access usable energy. Muscles that cannot obtain steady energy become tired and weak quickly. With a diet like this, even a simple walk to the corner store can start to feel like an exhausting challenge. 9. Industrially made cakes. Although they may evoke childhood memories, factory-made cakes contain elements that seriously harm leg health, particularly as we get older. Packed with refined sugar, hydrogenated oils, and synthetic preservatives, they disrupt metabolism and irritate the body. Their excessive sugar content damages insulin regulation and promotes the accumulation of body fat. This not only increases the risk of overweight, but also creates a metabolic environment that is unfavorable for maintaining muscular strength. These cakes also contain trans fats, used to enhance flavor and extend shelf life. These fats lower good cholesterol while raising bad cholesterol, directly compromising blood circulation. Inadequate blood flow deprives leg muscles of the nutrients they require, causing them to weaken. Over the years, this contributes to loss of lean mass, stiff joints, and greater mobility challenges. Regular consumption of industrial cakes is also associated with persistent inflammation, one of the main drivers of muscle weakness and joint discomfort. Emulsifiers, stabilizers, and artificial colors can alter immune function and trigger inflammatory reactions that primarily affect the leg joints. The result is more pain, reduced mobility, and a cycle of inactivity that accelerates muscular loss. Although tasty, these sweets lack real nutritional density. They are high in calories but low in critical nutrients such as protein, calcium, and magnesium, each essential for healthy bones and muscles. Eating these foods repeatedly is like trying to run a vehicle on contaminated fuel. In this case, your muscles act as the engine, and they simply cannot function the same way. Instead, they show signs of fatigue, slow reaction, and early wear. Often convenience leads us toward careless choices. Preparing homemade cakes with whole grains, fruits, and natural oils can be just as easy as buying a packaged one. The difference lies in the long-term effect this decision will have on your body. As you retrain your palate, your muscles will reward you with more stability, strength, and vitality. 8. Ultra-processed cheeses. Though they appear practical and flavorful, ultra-processed cheeses, such as spreads, sliced cheese, and melted varieties, hide serious risks for anyone wanting to preserve leg strength beyond age 60. Loaded with sodium and saturated fats, they negatively affect both the muscular and vascular systems. Excess sodium increases water retention and raises blood pressure. Saturated fats reduce blood vessel elasticity, interfering with circulation. This combination leads to heavier, swollen, and more uncomfortable legs. Moreover, processed cheeses often include preservatives and phosphates that disturb the body's mineral balance. Two minerals essential for muscle contraction and bone integrity, calcium and magnesium, are directly impacted. Poor absorption of these minerals results in muscle fatigue, joint pain, and even nighttime cramps. Since the leg muscles are large and constantly active, they are typically the first to signal these problems. Another key issue is that these cheeses lack high-quality protein. Unlike traditional cheeses that maintain better nutritional value, ultra-processed varieties undergo treatments that diminish their nutrient density. This means that while you consume calories, your body is not receiving the amino acids necessary to maintain muscle mass. Losing muscle is one of the primary reasons for declining independence and functionality with age. Have you ever noticed feeling heavier or sluggish after eating heavily processed meals? This is real and results from their inflammatory and demineralizing effects. Over time, the absence of essential nutrients weakens bones and decreases muscular performance. Short walks become more demanding, and stairs turn into a challenge. All of this can be linked to the type of cheese you spread on your toast. A healthier alternative is choosing fresher, less processed cheeses like ricotta, cottage cheese, or panela-style cheese. And remember, we are approaching the most surprising revelation of this video. The 2 worst vitamins for your legs are still ahead. 7. Industrial ice creams. Although they are among the most popular choices on hot days or after meals, industrial ice creams pose a significant threat to leg health after 60. High in calories and highly inflammatory, they contain saturated fats combined with large amounts of refined sugar. This type of diet causes spikes in blood glucose followed by rapid drops, disrupting muscular energy stability. The result is weak, heavy legs that fatigue more easily. These ice creams, particularly the lower quality ones, contain saturated fats that harm the cardiovascular system. Oxygenated blood then struggles to reach the body's extremities, including the legs. This produces sensations of numbness, tingling, and recurring cramps. Over the long term, poor circulation leads to muscle weakening, reduced mobility, and a greater risk of falls, all while believing we're just enjoying a treat. Industrial ice creams also contain artificial colors, emulsifiers, and thickening agents that worsen internal inflammation. This chronic inflammation is one of the main contributors to joint degeneration and muscle tissue damage. Frequent consumption disrupts digestive and hormonal balance, interfering with the absorption of essential nutrients required for muscle maintenance. Without proper nourishment, the body cannot remain stable and strong over time. Another key point is that these foods offer no meaningful nutritional value. High in empty calories, they do not build muscle, repair tissue, or support joint health. This leaves you feeling tired even after eating something enjoyable. The impact on leg strength becomes obvious: less firmness, more daily discomfort, and reduced tolerance for physical activity. Every spoonful deprives the body of the chance to strengthen itself. 6. Milk chocolates. Whether enjoyed as a treat after meals or as a small indulgence during the day, milk chocolates are part of many people's habits. But frequent intake can have a deeper impact than it seems, especially on the legs of adults over 60. Loaded with sugars and saturated fats, these chocolates trigger inflammatory reactions that directly affect joints and muscles. Excess glucose combined with low-quality fats creates metabolic strain that leads to a gradual drop in muscle strength. Another problem is the low cocoa percentage, since this is precisely where beneficial antioxidants come from. Most commercial bars result in a highly refined product full of additives and artificial flavor enhancers. These compounds not only burden the liver and pancreas, but also interfere with the absorption of nutrients vital for muscle function. The outcome: fatigued legs lacking power and more prone to stiffness and discomfort. The simple sugars in milk chocolate are absorbed quickly, generating insulin spikes that drain muscular energy. For those already struggling to maintain lean mass, this instability becomes extremely harmful. Moreover, milk chocolate often contributes to abdominal fat accumulation, increasing pressure on the lower limbs. This constant overload accelerates the wear of the joints in the hips, knees, and ankles. Fortunately, healthier alternatives still allow moments of pleasure. Dark chocolates with high cocoa percentages deliver antioxidants and flavonoids that support blood flow and muscular function. When consumed moderately, these options can even promote vascular wellness. The key lies in conscious choices and proper portions. 5. Canned foods. Although convenient, canned products contain several elements that can seriously compromise leg health as we age. Many of them include chemical preservatives such as sodium benzoate and nitrites, along with dyes, salt, and other additives. These compounds are highly inflammatory and damage muscle tissue and blood vessels. When eaten frequently, they slow muscle repair and reduce the capacity of tissues to receive oxygen. Additionally, the extra sodium in canned foods encourages fluid retention, one of the primary causes of heaviness and discomfort in the legs. This swelling not only produces pain, but may also indicate poor circulation and inflamed tissues, conditions common after 60. The problem worsens as excess salt strains the cardiovascular system and interferes with the delivery of essential nutrients to the muscles. Another alarming factor is the decline in nutritional value. Even canned meats or vegetables undergo processes that strip away most natural nutrients. What remains is a product low in vitamins and minerals, but high in substances the body must work hard to eliminate. This metabolic overload drains energy and weakens physical performance. Your diet may be contributing far more to ongoing fatigue and leg instability than you imagine. Furthermore, although in small amounts, aluminum from certain cans can accumulate in the body over time. Research suggests that routinely consuming foods stored in metal containers may negatively affect the nervous system and muscle function. This increases the risk of falls, imbalance, and progressive weakening, an unnecessary danger considering better alternatives exist. For anyone wanting to preserve mobility, reducing canned foods and choosing fresh, frozen, or naturally preserved items is a crucial first step. Cooking with whole ingredients free of synthetic additives provides almost immediate improvements to overall well-being. It's a choice that protects independence and long-term quality of life. And if you think only processed meals affect your legs, stay alert. There's still more to uncover. Soon we'll cover the 2 most dangerous vitamins for muscle integrity. Their truth may surprise you. 4. Filled cookies and processed snacks. Filled cookies and packaged snacks are everyday treats for many people. Yet after 60, their intake can accelerate the loss of leg strength. These products are true irritants to the body, packed with synthetic ingredients like colorants, artificial flavors, preservatives, and stabilizers. They inflame tissues and place a heavy burden on organs such as the liver and kidneys, directly disturbing circulation and the absorption of key nutrients for muscle health. They are extremely low in minerals, protein, and fiber, but very high in empty calories. In other words, they offer plenty of energy with almost no nutritional value. For older adults, this is particularly damaging since the body no longer retains nutrients as efficiently as in youth. A richer and more functional diet is required to counteract the natural decline in muscle mass associated with aging. Eating foods rich in sugar, hydrogenated fats, and sodium only speeds this deterioration. Trans fats, the type commonly used in these snacks, pose another serious problem. They are among the most inflammatory fats in today's diet. They clog arteries and limit the delivery of oxygen-rich blood to the muscles. Insufficient blood supply to leg muscles produces discomfort, fatigue, and sometimes an unstable sensation when walking. Gradually, this silent weakening becomes noticeable. Additionally, excessive sodium causes water retention, worsening swelling in the lower limbs. Puffy legs are a clear warning sign. Poor nutrition paired with impaired circulation creates the perfect scenario for varicose veins, chronic aches, and a heavy sensation while moving. All of this can stem from seemingly harmless treats. These snacks and cookies also cause quick rises and drops in blood sugar, draining energy and increasing cravings. This harmful cycle reduces muscular endurance and contributes to weight gain. The more you depend on these products, the harder it becomes to maintain strong, functional legs for daily living. Switching to natural snack bars can transform this situation entirely. 3. Industrialized foods with monosodium glutamate, MSG. From instant seasonings to quick noodles, including meat broths, packaged soups, and many frozen ready dishes, processed foods are loaded with monosodium glutamate. Although its influence on the body extends far beyond flavor, this additive is used to intensify the taste of meals. For adults over 60, repeated consumption of monosodium can be quite detrimental, especially for the leg muscles. MSG interferes with key neurotransmitters involved in muscle contraction through the nervous system. Those who are more reactive to this compound may develop muscle soreness, headaches, tingling sensations, and overall fatigue. When these reactions appear in the legs, they trigger heaviness, rigidity, and occasionally light trembling. As the body becomes more vulnerable to excitotoxic chemicals that damage neurons, the problem intensifies with aging. Moreover, monosodium glutamate promotes chronic inflammation that affects joints, muscles, and blood vessels. This inflammatory state disrupts muscle function and circulation in the extremities. Legs with insufficient oxygen supply greatly increase the risk of weakness, cramps, and reduced mobility. Many foods containing monosodium are also notably high in sodium, which worsens fluid retention and swelling in the legs. This additive further interferes with energy metabolism, altering how muscles use glucose. That diminishes their ability to convert fuel into strength, weakening the legs even during basic tasks like climbing stairs or walking short distances. Over time, this eating pattern may contribute to muscle loss and greater dependence on others for everyday activities. A large number of people do not realize how frequently they consume MSG. Labels disguise it under terms such as flavor enhancer, yeast extract, hydrolyzed protein, and other technical names that hide its real role. The best approach is choosing natural seasonings like fresh herbs, lemon, garlic, onion, and olive oil, instead of ultra-processed foods and artificial flavorings. 2. Excess vitamin A. Vitamin A is essential for many bodily functions such as vision, immunity, and skin maintenance. But an excessive amount of vitamin A, especially through supplements, can be harmful and provoke several adverse effects, including those related to leg muscles. After 60, the body has more difficulty metabolizing and eliminating surplus amounts of this vitamin, increasing the risk of accumulation in the liver and joints. Generalized muscle pain, particularly in the legs and lower back, is one of the most typical signs of vitamin A overload, since too much of it irritates muscle tissues. This discomfort is often mistaken for joint or spinal issues. Besides the pain, symptoms like muscular weakness, difficulty climbing stairs, walking, or standing up after sitting for a long time reveal that nutritional balance has been disrupted. Excess vitamin A also interferes with the absorption of crucial minerals such as magnesium and calcium. Without these elements, muscles cannot properly contract and relax, increasing the chances of fatigue, spasms, and cramps in the legs. Additionally, vitamin A buildup in the liver may disturb energy production, further impairing muscle performance. The outcome is a slow decline of strength and mobility. Another negative effect is bone demineralization, particularly in the hips and legs, which weakens bones and raises fracture risk. For this reason, vitamin A supplements should only be taken with medical supervision and always in carefully controlled doses. 1. Excess. Vitamin D. Commonly associated with bone strength and immune support, vitamin D is widely recommended for older adults. Yet few realize that too much of it can cause serious complications, even affecting the legs. Hypervitaminosis D, usually triggered by excessive supplementation, occurs when this vitamin accumulates in the body. Muscle pain is one of the primary symptoms of this imbalance, often paired with weakness and reduced motor coordination. Unlike other vitamins the body easily eliminates, vitamin D is fat-soluble and therefore stored in adipose tissue. An excess of vitamin D can elevate blood calcium levels, known as hypercalcemia. This leads to stiffness in the legs, muscle burning, cramps, joint soreness, and similar manifestations. Hypercalcemia directly influences muscle and nerve function, disrupting the electrical signals that guide movement. Too much vitamin D may also provoke abnormal calcification of soft tissues, including muscles and tendons. This causes areas like the calves, knees, and thighs to become rigid, less flexible, and painful during activity. Older adults who take high doses of vitamin D without medical oversight face a greater likelihood of developing these complications. Another significant concern is that large vitamin D intakes can injure the kidneys. Impaired filtration intensifies swelling in the legs, muscle discomfort, and weakness. This creates a dangerous cycle. More vitamin D, more calcium buildup, reduced kidney function, more muscle problems. Vitamin D use must always be based on blood tests and professional monitoring. And that's where we'll wrap up for today. If this information helped you understand why your legs may feel weaker, stiffer, or more tired, remember, it's never too late to make changes that can truly transform your health. Pay attention to what you eat, monitor your supplements, and most importantly, listen to your body. Your legs carry you every single day, and they deserve your full care. Before you go, tell me in the comments, which one of these 3 factors do you think is affecting you the most? I'm always reading your messages. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss any of our easy, science-based tips to stay strong, mobile, and full of energy after 60. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.